Okay, this video is going to be over I guess terms of endearment, and how to terms of addressing other people that you might not know, might know, whatever. Anyway, so if you made it this far through these whole videos, you probably already know most of these terms, but I'm going to explain it, so I'm not even going to have any introductions. Let's get right to it. Pang babae, meaning for females, right? Ate, meaning the older sister. An older sister. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. If you address an older female, someone who's older than you, if you're male or female, you use this word, you call them ate. It has to be an older female, right? But again, Cebuano speakers love to shorten things. They say te, right? Instead if you're gonna be calling your ate, you can just say oy te, te. They elongate that vowel at the end. Te. For the panglalake, for the males, kuya is the term. But also older females can also be referred to as manang. So you can also refer to them as manang, and same way for males, manong if they're male. Manang is to me, manang sounds more like an older woman, or a woman who's more older than an ate. So it's more like a term for respect to use it. Manang, if you don't know what their name is, it's like, oh, Miss or Madam or Mrs., something like that. Manang. And the shortened form is nang. And look, we can even make a diminutive of this, manay. So if you look at let's say you look at a lady walking down, right, and you want to get her attention, but she looks a lot shorter than you and more frail looking, or more wrinkly and old and stuff like that. Not really a grandmother, but I guess close to a grandmother, but somewhere of that kind of age, right? You can call her manay because obviously you're a lot bigger than her, and you're using a diminutive to indicate that she's a lot more smaller. Similarly for the males, manoy, we have that for manong, and then shorter form is nong, right? Now, in other Philippine languages, for example, in Ilocano, they have other terms of endearments for their younger siblings. Cebuano, we have that too, but we specify the gender. For females, it's inday, and for males, it's dodong. But nowadays, Cebuano speakers love to shorten stuff, so instead of saying inday, we say dai, 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 anhi dinhi dai. Or for dodong, it's just dong, dong, asa ka dong, So we can just shorten it to just those syllables. For ate and kuya, these, even though they mean big brother, big sister, sometimes you can address them to maybe someone to someone out in public who is either like a taxi driver or a jeepney driver, something like that. If you want to get their attention, or if you want to thank them, oy salamat ate, salamat kuya, you can address them in that way too. Most likely it's because if it's a term of endearment for them. It's not too intimate. It's not very intimate. It's just like a term of oh, thanks bro, or thanks buddy, thanks pal, kind of a deal for kuya, like oy kuya, kind of like that. And for females, it's the same thing too, but it's a female version. And technically, I would use this if I see the driver as someone that's like a college age kind of person, or university age, kind of like that, right after high school, that kind of age. I would probably use that. Whereas manang and manong, I would probably use, and it's just me personally, use for someone who's maybe in their 30s or something, in their 30s or 40s, or their 50s, somewhere where 30s to 50s, something like that. But yeah, The younger sibling, for the younger female, I would just call her Dai, and the younger male Dong. It doesn't necessarily need to be inclusive within the family. You can also call or use these terms of endearment outside in public. If you want to catch a younger guy's attention, Oi Dong, or a younger female's attention, Dai, they don't have to be related to you, right? So moving on, in the center, let's focus on this one, palanga, right? I wrote down palanga here because palanga means dear or beloved or kind of like that, like kind of how can I explain this? It's like a beloved kind of thing. It shows endearment. It's a term of endearment for someone you care about, someone you love, someone you show affection to in a way, right? But palanga is more like for it's more intimate in a way. So, for example, if you're married to somebody, you can call that your significant other palanga. Also, there are situations in the public where sometimes if people want to be cute, they'll call you palanga. If you're a normal customer, for example, if you're a usual customer at a restaurant or something, and then you want to get an order and a waitress says, "Oy, unsa imong order palanga?" Like, if they want to be a little cute and kind of show a little affection and endearment because you're their favorite or something, they can say palanga, something like that. This can also be used out in public places, but be careful when you use this word because it does show intimacy. And like most Cebuano words, palanga can be shortened to langa, and it can even further shorten to just ga, right? You can call your significant other if you want their attention. You can just go around the house and say ga, ga, or ga, you know, like a little deer, hey dear. Let's go on to doña and don. So doña and don, these are just kind of whatchamacallit, terms of endearment for people who hold a higher class status. Doña and don. Doña obviously for female and don for male. This all came from borrowed Spanish. So when the Spaniards came to the islands, people hold class status and a socioeconomic status in a way, and they use these terms of I guess not, they're not terms of endearment, but they're terms titles. There you go. They're titles that they used for these people who owned land, who are rich and wealthy. The don and doña, and sometimes like these people don't need to be really young. The doña and doña could be someone from their mid-20s to say 40s, 50s, 60s, in that kind of range, as long as they held that class title or that class status. Senora and señor, same thing again with the class titles. Senora is more like senora is very formal too, and senor is very formal. They're just terms and titles that you use with females and males who are way older, way older, right? The shortened form of señora is ñora, right? And then we also have terms for the diminutives, señorita and señorito. And these terms can also be used for people who hold a high socioeconomic status but are still kind of single. They're bachelors and bachelorettes. So a señorita is like a bachelorette. She is rich, holds a high status in society, and single. And the señorito is the same but masculine or male version, right? Now, if you don't really hold a high title or anything like that, your fellow commoner, we use the words dalaga and ulitawo, dalagita and ulitawo hai. These words are just pretty much saying, okay, this person has reached the age of puberty. They can, they're able to reproduce and have kids, etc. They're able to start a family. Dalaga and ulitawo, like they're bachelors, or they're in that age range that's ripe where you can start a family. So dalaga, dalagita again is the what's it called? I'm blanking out here. Dalagita is the diminutive form. There you go. It's diminutive by adding ita, and ulitauhai is the same except it's masculine. I don't think it's a diminutive though. Ulitauhai is the masculine form of dalagita. And yes, I'm reaching my time limit, but hopefully this explains a lot.